He's off. We heard from Coach Keita letting us know that this is a map deliberately chosen for its simplicity, fundamentally driven, and NATO Safix filling that seat due to his ability to know all of the strats. He's a plug-and-play mercenary, gun for hire. Let's see how this one shapes up. He's been told he doesn't have to be the hero. All he needs is to fill that gap, fill the role of Oboe. And of course, there's complexities to that, no pun intended. It's double smokes out of the gate, and on the break, it is RPK, the only man to receive them. 2 from Connector, though. And if they get smoked off, they may just have to play retake.
I think the stack window already kind of alluded to the fact they're going to be in that situation. Apex trying to stay prevalent, though. Already getting a little bit of damage started, but it's nothing to write home about. It's a bomb plant, and it's CT side presence and pressure from the T team. It was Safix. That was quite brave of you. Config, though, does keep it together. Masuta instantly trades it out, though.
I think NATO's worked out that they're coming from CT. You can see how they're just basically pushing jungle so that they don't just give these jewels to the CTs. And it makes a lot of sense. Now double peeking, time's not on their side, and losing Masuta's a problem. The smoke in the kit, that's shocked. He can still have a chance here to contest his rush, and he's missed his shots. Oh no, disaster. Rush is gonna be kicking himself. If he had got that frag, that's a complexity win. The retake comes off. Shox and Zai were a double kill apiece. Oops.
All right, well, as we expect in Counter-Strike these days, with the plant going down on the T side and kills coming on through, the buy will also follow, as it is AKs, Galils as well. Deagle in the hands of Poison right now. And a potent looking buy on the board. NATO, he will find that AK, but rocking no Kevlar behind it whatsoever. It is a Galil even. So 3 AKs.
God, it's very weird seeing a purchase in.
Yeah, especially with 2 of these rifles operating without any armor whatsoever.
Yeah.
That is quite unique to see. And there's a couple of reasons why, but it's the rifles being bought up on the Vitality side. So
what? I am very, very baffled by this. Interesting. Okay. I mean, Config, as long as he's the one that pulls the trigger first, this won't cost him, but it's not always something that's within your control. He's checking for Shoxy here.
This is difficult clear for Config right now, up close and personal. Oh, was he spotted?
I don't think so.
He has no idea that Shox could be up here, though, so he's going to go down.
That's an AK, wow.
Easy as you like. That's 1 bullet to the head will take down Config due to that lack of armor, and an AK given on up. So if Masuta can find that in transition, he's currently over towards the B side of things. I'm sure he won't be moving and actually has the perfect weapon for the job.
He's going to go get that M4 if he wants to. Would be surprised. Yeah, Shox is smoking it. They're calling like, yo, dude, we've got another rifle here. But he has got his responsibilities at B, and he has to change his mind now. Shox is there in support, confirms they're crossing, missing his first. 2 have down. Blame's lost his life. That's the bomb. Poison's going to lose it as well. Oh, and robotic stuff from Shoxy. Good start from NATO. Could have found a third as well. But it's a full ace. Shox locking down the round in round 2.
I suppose what could have happened there for Complexity was they were calling out the rifle drops and one too many people bought a rifle.
Maybe.
And then they just...
Feels like a weird choice.
Yeah, you wouldn't normally opt for that. If you can get 2 AKs and a Galil, that's not too bad of a mix. And then the other 2 would just be down to pistols without armor, maybe utility behind them there. So miscommunication could be on the cards early for Complexity. As we have highlighted, they are the underdog in this one here.
I can't believe I stole a spoon. I'm feeling really bad about that.
It's just a spoon, man.
I know, but they're going to be sitting there doing their inventory, and someone's going to get charged for a missing spoon. Not me.
I've got both the bathrobes from my room out now, currently in the office. I'm waiting until I get a knock on the door. Excuse me, Mr. Birchall, where someone keeps taking my parking spot.
It's really upsetting him, Lauren. But Lauren, just a word of advice. Come in sympathetic for this one, actually.
Okay, talk to me.
I like my parking spot.
What's nice about it? Is it close to the...
Oh, it was number 18.
Well, because it's allocated to him. You know, like the idea of something being his and and people not respecting that.
Yeah, that's very
No, like that's practically his property.
Now I've taken number 2. I don't like number 2.
Doesn't sound as good as 18.
No, not as good.
Is it too close to the door as well? A bit windy?
Oh, that's unpleasant.
Harder to park into as well.
Really?
Yeah.
First world problems.
But the one thing I did actually quite like about that interview as well, I do want to highlight it again, is the difficulty of playing against traditionally French teams. The puggy style that has haunted so many others, especially those of, let's say, more tactical lean, right? So I remember rolling this a long time ago, speaking to Dupree about it, about why they'd always struggle against French teams, and it felt so weird to say, like, what's wrong with the nationality? Like, why is it just them? Sure. And every single time, it's puggy and it's hard to predict. And even though tactically we may have a good idea about what we want to do, sometimes they lean into individual brilliance that is really hard to contain.
If Zywo gets a double kill off the break,
what do you do with that?
That's the round if they follow through correctly.
Which is wild, because if you go back to the Very Games era in Source, and then you look at their integration into CSGO with Existence, they were a tactical team. And one of the highlights of the French and Source was watching their tactics. But
that spray was really quite clean. Long range.
This whole round should be clean.
Yeah, it is. Spotless.
I was enjoying Shox being up to, I think it was like 300 ADR. He's down to 200 now. Couldn't quite get into that round, sadly.
Why didn't he just ace twice? What an idiot.
Can you, like, do something, Shox?
Only 200 ADR?
Disgusting.
In stark contrast, though, while we are on the topic, it is Rush, Config, Blame, and Poison yet to break that 60 ADR mark. RPK, your hero of that one, just managing to find the triple kill against the Pistols. But it is time for the fall by. Lauren's making noises.
Sorry, I was asking, do you still have his crosshair?
I'm still a big advocate for the RPK crosser. You really can't lose it.
I showed that one yesterday when I was doing the
appreciated
Hub
that
stuff. So
maybe a couple more RPK cosplays in the servers.
Potentially, yeah. Hey, Rush, what's going on with the server conditions down there, mate?
It's looking okay. Looks like some external issues right now, but they should be wrapped up hopefully soon.
Are we thinking about doing cloud seeding to keep away from some of these bugs in the system?
Yeah, I'm not sure. Like maybe we're gonna like affect the weather with some kind of technology. I think that's the next play in the observing
did read
corner.
a Reddit thread the other day where somebody suggested weather conditions in Counter-Strike which would affect grenades. And at that point, I closed the internet down and went to bed.
That sounds amazing.
So, you know, there's some great suggestions.
I just think the fact that, you know, Shox has got 7 kills and 0 deaths, why is he not calling in like a chopper gunner or something?
That's true.
Need to be rewarded for not dying.
UAV at least.
Yeah, I mean, at least a UAV, at least like seeing all of them on the minimap. It would be a small price to pay. And it looks like Shox is going to get his ultimate. He's unlocked it. Going to be looking to summon the ice wall at that ramp position.
Nivea? I'm trying to think of like...
Nivea, yes. Good work. I'm proud of you.
Yeah, I just saw Froggen appear in my mind. I was like,
Back in the day.
Once upon a time.
That's a very nice nade. Considering Apex saw the entire trajectory and still takes 30, nice work from NATO.
What I really like is that Shox has got this amount of information.
He's staunching on
This is huge. So they've not only got Palace, so that's already gone.
Yup.
And it's like, right, well, half the map's mine, boys, so just get mid and B.
Don't think I'm ever going to release this fiddle cube, Chad.
It was meant to be white, not pink.
I don't know why you're so upset about the color scheme. I actually, if
it's
anything,
just you order a color and you get the wrong color.
That's fair. I mean, maybe we should send it back. Let's send a return.
Well, it's like when you get a parking spot and it's yours.
Oof.
Oh dear, look at that. Just like that, so the round is lost and so are 2 more frags. They'd have liked to have made it a little bit more economically sound, but...
It looked good as well for a moment there.
Yeah, certainly. Holding out the smoke just didn't anticipate the walk up. It was a full contact play into B, and so Config and the rest of Complexity can just lie back, relax, as can you. This one is just reaching its logical conclusion. Will be a 3-1 scoreline.
Rush.
Yo.
Yesterday we asked if we could put elimination game.
Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't an elimination game. This is a winner's match. But could we change it to EU-progression match?
Progression match?
Why are you whipping out all these new words? You and your vocab, Chad.
Well, we need a name for it because you go to playoffs with this victory. And I just think we need to let the viewers at home know.
As opposed to elimination?
If you send me the correct spelling, I can try.
Are we just adding work for Rush, though? I feel quite bad.
No, it's so simple. I could go in there and do it right now.
Go on, then.
All we need to do is open a Word document. You need to adjust like one line of text, and then you just need to refresh the HUD, and it's on. Let's not act like this is difficult
Maybe
for a
put a
second
smiley
here.
face in there, Rush. That would be kind of disarming.
You'd really like that.
I think I'll get told off for that. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's true. But
Vlad's in there. Go ask Vlad. He'll tell you if it's all right or not.
All right, well, send him a text.
All right, I will.
Give me the spelling.
Yep, and we'll change it.
And
All
I'll
right,
put it in there.
live HUD upgrades, ladies and gentlemen. That's the treat you get here at IEM New York. Now, I will remind you as well, Keita, Coach Keita, making it clear that it's Config, Blame, and Poison's responsibility to bring this win home. Having to step it up, and a narrow miss. Another as well, and that's enough of a track for Poison to connect his spray. Apex is still standing and fighting, though. This is so classic. Oh, he nearly got them both. Poison's still there. He has to bail himself out with the smoke grenade. I think Poison might want to spray this. He is pushing into the head. And now numbers are favoring, once again, the Complexity roster. Misuta, Shox looking to contest. In fact, all 3 CTs leaning towards this mid-fight. They do not want to go silently into this 3 versus 4. They want to level the odds. RPK posturing as well. They want info, and they're demanding it. Shox looks through the window. A cursory glance confirms there's no initial presence. There's 2 leading towards A. Maybe they have to push for info, but that's gonna. I don't think the time favors Vitality here. If they don't go contact B again, as they did the successful round prior, Lauren, this is just going to end in another one of those nasty save calls.
Yeah. Even with Masuta's positioning, I think it's done. We'll see if anything other than the expected end does come through. Of course, going to be meticulous in clearing, check the boost, go through all the motions here, but we all know CT's ain't
black
around.
laminate. I didn't know Rush had that level of style.
I love the black lamb.
Yeah, black lamb.
I have a Get Right and a Edward sticker. I thought I'd go for the old ones.
That's a yellow sticker on a black AK. Liking that contrast. I saw the stats. I did a tweet about it. That like the most popular AKs, like based on the amount that are purchased
within the last
month. And I was surprised to see Rat Rod as like that. But I guess it's because it's quite affordable. But underneath that, the front side Misty.
Oh.
I'm just so ashamed in all of you.
Why does the front side Misty sound like a skateboard trick?
I think that's the idea.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I don't.
Man, just leave him alone.
Well, I'm just trying to change the pivot point.
I've been trying that.
You playing with the bird again?
Yeah, and he's dunking his whole head. Chad, you've just killed the bird.
Waterboarding the bird.
Leave it alone.
Tell me the truth. Tell me where the seeds are.
The burb is the word.
Yeah. He's really useless. He is actually like the worst bird drinking bird.
I feel like I've been a little let down by Chad's box.
On this fiddle cube, it's much cooler.
Thanks.
There you go.
Thank you.
I've got my date thing anyway. I can check the date. It is the 8th of the 10th. I think.
Indeed.
Whew, good.
All
okay.
right. Well, back underway we go. Complexity now 2 on the trot here. Vitality need to respond, as it looks like we'll be heading for a bit of an A play. Faking out towards middle is Blame, and this is very Tabson-esque. Through the smoke, Apex goes down. Some in-game leader on in-game leader action.
If he peeks on this flash, which he will, it's down to Masuta. Rush is the first to drop, and oh dear, this looks disastrous. NATO does very well to find the floor bang. And RPK going down keeps it competitive. Now an advantage for falling into Complexity's favor. Shocks around the edge of the smoke. That's nice. His position unanticipated, and the smoke towards the stairs isn't going to save Poison yet.
Should plant front side, but they're a little bit worried about the jungle
understandable.
now.
There is a gap for him to plant wherever he desires. He's actually deploying a smoke. Yeah, that's perfect. So he'll be planting for ramp side. Oh, a fake. I'm not in love with it. Not in love with it at all. So, bomb down.
Yeah, this is a good limp smoke here from Vitality. This gives them a way to play back in. Molotov towards the Goblin box. Poison up and over. 2v2.
They were hoping that it would force a jungle push. It's going to have to be off the back of a flash. Or it doesn't have to, obviously, but I was having a look. Sandwich, and that's the frag. Big find. Blame's overcommitted. He's tucked in on the ramp position. They do deploy a smoke onto the bomb, I assume. Does find Zaiwu trying to transfer. Shox is catching a lot of bullets, but he does go down. He rocked the clock enough. I don't think Shox has got this. He's still sticking around, though.
He's got it.
Really? Oh, right down to the wire. Shoxy. I thought that was Complexity's every day of the week. Blame tagging him up. He goes wide off the bomb, but gets back to it in time. That kit saving his life. One last snip of the wire. This was the frag in.
Oof, wow, that was real close.
It doesn't really get closer than that.
Just to note there, for Zaiwu to get that kill, I think the smoke that they had limped on out as it was fading was actually the key reason he was able to catch Poison off there. Because you could see Poison, when the smoke was dissipating over on the site, wasn't ready for that jump up, but Zaiwu more than happy to take that type of a duel, and it has resulted in a Vitality timeout. Even with the round on the board, having to discuss their options, decide how they want to get the buy going forward. Shox could actually bring out a secondary AWP. Apex can buy through for himself here, and Masuta might need a little bit of a dropped weapon. But, let's see how this unfolds. He will just go for Kevlar and the M4A4. Shox into the rifle as well, holding onto some residual cash there, potentially being able to drop Zaiwu orbs in future rounds. And the timeout has concluded. We're back underway here as Complexity with that plant will be able to buy themselves 2,400 of a loss bonus in the next round. Let's see if they can continue to be threatening here. B plays on the contact variety have been the success for the majority Danish squad now.
Uh-oh. Yeah,
oh,
big uh-oh. And he's got so much utility. To go down now would be so frustrating. So much money just instantly depleted. And he's locked out. NATO Suffix is trying to play him in a touch, but he's lucky to keep his life.
I feel like Zaiwu even just had his pot shot there based on the barrel being exposed. He's got eyes of a hawk, this kid. drops the smoke B apps, and he can say that he's got B on lock. And he can say that with conviction as well. But from conviction to complexity, we have 5 of them gathering in T-spawn. Bit of smoke you mentioned, Lauren, will be flying out of Poison's hands, config 2. Just with their AA smokes.
Yeah, a bit of a 4-man lean, though. As you can see, Shox is towards window. You've got Apex in towards jungle. Over towards the stairs and sandwich position is Masuta. And then tucked in towards Gatsby is RPK. This is going to be a tough take.
Yeah, waiting on those mollies to come in, see how much it does dislodge the players. Masuta's still going to take one with him. So even with that molly coming in and eventually taking him down, maybe they're feeling a little uncomfortable on this. The Reef Flash, RPK in the off angle. Does get 1, but blame F on the trade. We've got 30 seconds on the board here. This is starting to get quite tricky for the T's as Poison is still down so low. He took so much damage earlier on from ZywOo. Blame F. Matters into own hands and fails at it. Bomb now left in a almost untouchable place. A matter of survival seems like it was the only answer there for Poison, and that's gone. So Vitality, that lean was so correct.
Yeah, I think just the AWP getting tagged early and ZywOo having the confidence to drop his smoke and call it the rotate to get over its way. It worked out wonderfully. I can't help but feel that was very on the fly, Chad. Just from your, well-trained eyes, did that look like something that was decided on last minute and it was just A smokes into walkout, or was there more to it that I'm missing?
It's a tough one to really decipher here. I think the fact that there were so many players lent over
the flashes did nothing. I like that Rush switched to RPK's POV.
Yeah.
He turned, was flashed a little bit, turned back, and had 5 seconds before he had to take a fight. It just didn't feel like it was something that, it doesn't feel like a complexity round, and this one doesn't either. They've just been mopped up. Rush has done some very nice multi-fragging, but he paid a heavy price, and it's ZywOo to finish the job. 6. Vitality running away with it. Yeah,
and quite the fashion here in the early stages. I think for complexity now, that money situation they're currently rocking will just have to be a partial buy.
Shox is yet to die.
He's immortal.
The only logical conclusion.
Yeah, he's a vampire, and well, I guess vampires die eventually too, don't they?
Do they?
I don't know. I've never met one.
No, my knowledge expands merely to movies, mostly Twilight.
One of the greatest love stories ever told, Twilight.
Really?
Well, looks like back towards B, and that's where they found success on their 2 rounds so far. Complexity. Just flashes to work with here. They want to overrun Masuta, the young boy. We'll have Shox in tow, so not the easiest of bomb sites to take with the Immortal standing and waiting.
The sexy brown boy in Twilight Call?
Jacob. He was the werewolf.
Yeah, that's me.
Chad, you're too tan to be Edward. If you've got a bit paler, you got the floppy hair.
Oh, not the dream smoke. In fact, it's achieved nothing.
Oh, that's nasty. But the boost comes in just in the nick of time. That could really help out. Now Masuta, very comfortable, turreting around. Shox now, actually overwhelmed. So that could be a plant.
Well, there's a smoke there as well. That could play a huge part in this. It was just on the corpse, and no one's picked it up.
Oh, look where the bomb is.
The bomb. Oh, no, this actually just lost. Great camera work, guys. No T-Tours in the chat for that one. They have, of course, lost the round as soon as it became a 1 versus 2.
Yikes, that's not the way you want that to be going.
It is funny. I think I saw a prof tweet or something, Professor, he does HLTV stuff, but I saw a tweet sometimes like the weapon physics, and you see the AK just kind of drop, and then you see the bomb physics, and it launches out of players' chests like a rocket launcher.
We've discussed that on the show a bunch of times about different things of the game which could use tweaking, and the bomb one, it doesn't make much sense, or at least not that we can really quantify. So we were discussing whether it should just drop at the feet like the AK.
I think it makes more sense. I don't see any reason not to. ZywOo just lining up 3. Just a standard day in the office for Mr. ZywOo.
Did Poison not see him? I don't know how much time he had on that, if I'm honest.
Use the one-way. Wow, it's not even really that much.
Oh, Rush trying to get away as well. The reaction time. ZywOo on for the ace, and he might as well get it. NATO Safix is quaking in his boots.
But give it to him.
That is one way.
The second ace of the game so far.
Yeah, Shox and ZywOo taking it in turns.
Oh, ZywOo.
RPK, don't get too horny. Let him have it.
They're all closing in.
Let him have it. Come on. It'll look good in the highlight reel if he gets it.
Okay.
Oh. All right, well, they take NATO out of the round, and all 5 stay alive for Vitality. 8-2 now.
we see this again? I don't really want to see how much time Poison had. I don't think it was much, if I'm honest.
So see this smoke that's been dropped? That's a CT smoke.
Oh, he did throw a shot at it, I think. Poison.
This is a huge shot. I think that this last shot is actually the biggest out of the three of them, or the four even. But that smoke that's dropped towards the underpass position is a CT-sided smoke that Zai was playing around there for mid-control. And completely denying that right there has taken one of the approaches for Complexity out very, very early. Their loss bonus is maxed on through, and that's going to see them coming on in with roughly 3.5 to 4K. And that's enough for them to go for one of these partial buys and the potential execute behind it. So get the Tech 9s, get the Deagles, get the P250s like Kevlar, smokes, flashes, Molotovs if you like, and go for a set piece. You can spend a decent chunk of cash knowing that you're going to get the 3,400 loss bonus in the next. 2K would probably be where about I'd like to leave it. You can see there, Config, Blame F, NATO, and Rush all just around that mark. Poison holding onto a little bit more to get himself that AWP. And the AWP might be instrumental for Complexity, seeing that ZywOo and Shox are now rocking the double AWP setup. A real opportunity to find some picks.
Where are those two AWPs? So look, Shoxy towards B. Okay, so postured quite far forward. That's his territory. Lovely, he can knock that out. And ZywOo making sure no one comes trickling out of the apartments there on Palace.
Masuda's actually pushing forward towards B. As soon as he clears this kitchen area, Shox can rotate away now. It doesn't need to stay overseeing, and they can start to clamp down on this. But that's a great nade as Complexity. They're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, trying to come through connector, though. They're going to try and make these angles work, and they did isolate RPK. So opportunities beckoning as the bomb still looking for its way across. As Apex is watching that, ZywOo makes it look so simple, so easy. And again, how is he so good at just casually destroying these guys?
Well, there's another. And that's 9 for Vitality. A triple kill for ZywOo as he's off to the statistical races. He's often sitting very pretty at the top of the high-rated players of the tournament, and while getting 13-2 in the first 11 rounds of play certainly helps.
Shox has died now, so that's unfortunate.
Oh.
2 deaths for him.
The old stake to the heart.
Yeah. Is there a silver bullet for the werewolves? Yeah. All right, well, underway we go. Round number 12, guns back out. Poison on the AWP. Not a lot of utility to go behind that, but the big green might be able to find some success.
Who are we looking at from the Complexity squad again? It was Config was one of them, and Blame F, I believe, was the other.
They were the 2 big names just the other day when they picked up their upset victory against G2.
Okay, let's
performing leaps and bounds above the rest.
Yeah, we need to keep eyes on it. If maybe that win factor, that win condition comes into play, we can maybe start telling that story. But until that fact, for now, it is a bit of a beatdown. 9-2 is certainly a resounding scoreline for the CT side. Both of these two dedicated to this pressure coming through connector. It was toyed with last round and denied once again. This time RPK looks like we could be in trouble here. Might want to dump that utility if he could. So I was keeping it safe, even though at the loss of his buddy RPK.
A's kind of open here, though.
Is it? ZywOo's here, bro. It ain't open. He's about to close this case right now. There's another. Rush goes down. He's on for the 4, but Poison pulls it from the clutches of defeat, and he's looking for a 1v4. Finds the first 3. And just like that, the star of the Complexity show starts to shine a little brighter. Anticipating the push. Molly to reposition. There is a smoke for him to recover. He won't be able to do so now with a floor laden with flame. Tucking in for a safe plant. How quickly did he turn this into a winnable situation? 3 shots from the AWP. This is the hardest one of the lot, though. Masuta got a good idea as to where Poison is playing, expecting the re-peek towards connector, and it isn't impossible that he takes it. Oh, the timing. Masuta's coming for a look. He's going to have to flick. Oh, smoke gives him the chance to stay alert. Doesn't have to rush this. Waiting it out, calling the fake. Knows Masuta would not.
I think he heard a step there, too.
And that's the clean ace. My God, 4 kills. Not quite the ace, but a spectacular round all the same. Poison, 1 versus 4 to secure the 3rd.
Yeah, you can see the Vitality players just coming running on in once they knew Poison's position, but he was the one taking the fight, so you can see how assertive he's being. So as soon as Apex goes down, over towards connector, Shox knife out, wrong place, wrong time, and well, for Masuda in this one, once the bomb goes down, it becomes a very, very difficult 1-on-1. So great round there from Poison, and it will be the 3rd on the board or the Complexity side of things, needing to find a 9-6 half, and that's one step to help them get there. Poison's just taken up a big lick of damage in the middle early, but once again, they have to deal with ZywOo.
New position this time as well. Playing over towards that at the time is going to cost him his life. Config's taking the corner, perfectly timed. Masuta is posted up here. Looking to see if NATO clears this.
Oh, lazy clear.
That's unfortunate. Could have checked that, could have had some intent behind it, because now there's problems afoot. Apex needs to find some delivery here, and he's done it. He's definitely seen the barrel, but Poison quick as ever.
Yeah, he had to find that frag. It keeps them well and truly in contention, because Shox is the only man left. Rush, Config, though they have fallen, they did take one with them. And Shox with an AWP of all things. We know he's used to be more than capable with the scoped rifle. Let's see if Poison wants to walk into this line of sight. He does. Shox confirms it. Doesn't know where Blame is, but he's going to try and jump out and take this fight. Poison's not interested. 4 found. If they can get the 6th, Complexity, I would consider this a recovered half.
Yeah, 9-6 for the T side of Mirage, not too shabby. In the early stages, Vitality were looking very slippery, hard to get their hands on it. But now, Poison's actually made a bit of a statement in back-to-back rounds here. So in the last 2, that's 6 kills in total for Poison. The AWP finding form, and now he has the most frags tied up with Blame F. On the other side of things, we were talking about ZywOo. He's just down to the Deagle here, as Vitality, by losing those 2 on the trot, have been forced down to merely the pistols. Still finding nade damage towards top middle. That's pretty good from Apex, but he's actually vacated the window room. So there's no eyes on mid right now. They're going for a 3-man B lean. ZywOo to patrol towards connector. And that's going to put all the pressure on RPK over towards the balcony position right now. We can see Complexity fanning on out, standard default spread, 1 towards B apartments, 1 dealing with A ramp and the Hall's push, and then 3 corralling through middle. Flashed into vent room, so being very diligent here, Complexity, making sure their utility is used. The molly drops towards the short position, the flash comes through at the same time. That means Blame F can take the duel without worrying about a flank. When you use a utility like this, it just puts so much confidence in the fights that you will be taking. Now, NATO, leaving B apartments, has the bomb. Looks like we're going to finish with an A split right here. Another molly towards short, and up connector we go.
Only RPK. Nice shot. Needs a second, and NATO Safix is going to punish the miss. They can walk in, call it clear.
That didn't look like RPK's crosshair then for a second. I was very confused. Oh, hello.
Yeah, it could get sketchy here.
Yeah,
ZywOo hits that, and suddenly it's on. He can hit Poison as well. Oh, ZywOo, consistently a thorn in Complexity's side. This was a guarantee. He's unarmored. He's only got a deagle. $700 invested, and they're about to pull this round out of the hat. Rush to clutch. Might have to call the bluff on that. Looking for Apex, and he has found the first, and needs a second. Shox is low, but Masuta has found the frag necessary, and the defuse in time. Just like that, ZywOo has transformed what looked like a lost round.
And now the half that we were saying could have been a 9-6 for Complexity can at best be a 10-5. So still not the end of the world, but if ZywOo's having one of these days, which it appears that he is, 19 kills now, the man is an
probably
absolute...
on the half?
Yeah, and that's what you love to see, right? When you have Simple, when you have ZywOo, those type of names in the server, this is the action that we're looking out for. And we call them ZywOo rounds. Well, we don't call them ZywOo rounds. That's what the teams call them. You know, when you go into a match against Vitality, you know there's always going to be 1 or 2 of them coming through. You know there's going to get one away, and... well, he's actually had a couple here on the first half. So let's see how many more he can muster. Back into play we go. Smoke towards top mid. Window smoke as well. Barreling down will be Blame F. And to challenge will be ZywOo. So let's see how sneaky beaky can Blame be.
Well, the nade's not too subtle, and neither's the steps to follow it. Called that there's a problem coming, and Shox has heard it. Masuta, however, falls for it. Config and NATO Safix cracking open the site. Now, Apex has made it to the right place, right time, but loses out to life in the end. Config keeping this competitive. However, bombs yet to be planted. That was denied by Apex. So ZywOo and RPK get another shot at this, but look who's walking forward. A confident Config. Tell me more about this. The 1-for-1 trade, but you did take down ZywOo at least, leaving it in the hands of RPK.
Those firm, rugged...
Mechanic hands.
Mechanic hands. I'm trying to think, what's the word when you've like been, you know, picking up stuff and they get all...
Calloused?
Thank you.
Or
calloused or rough. Rough wasn't what I needed. You know, I'm just saying he's picked up pipes and he's bent them barehanded. What else do you do in a mechanic shop? He's fixed engines and stuff, the screws and oil. I bet he's used a blowtorch thingy before.
Yeah, let's have a Google of that. The scoreline's 11-4. Don't go anywhere. We're back with the second half of Mirage after this.
As I see the colors of your soul, and I recognize every single line, every single roadblock. We are two hearts that beat in time, and the towers looking down all night, blocking out the sun that we need. Maybe we can change our stripes and colors. You're the only one I see, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, and I take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Into my past and I count the numbers of the dreams that I left behind. I don't even care now that I've discovered a new kind of peace of mind. Up above us, looking down on us, there's an angel I know. We don't need to worry or discuss much. It's time for me to hit the road. I'll take it all or nothing at all. Driving through the night till I'm at your door. Go outside, stay up all night, sleep through the sunrise. Your door, go outside.
An 11-4 half. Complexity have let this one slip away. It was budding 9-6 until Zywoo arrived in the server, and he's continued to flex his muscles. It is definitely getting sketchy heading into the second half. The first map of our third day here for IEM New York 2020. You know what year it is, I think.
I hope.
I hope.
Unless you've just woken up.
Good morning.
Yeah, you missed a couple of things.
Gosh, yeah. Imagine waking up waking up from a coma.
Hi. Wash your hands.
You come out, and
Yeah.
the world is a different place.
Oh, I can't wait to get back to traveling.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry, babe. Did I miss that holiday? We were going to go and travel the United States.
Oh, alrighty. Let's get this one underway as utility will be purchased on through here for Team Vitality. Zywoo with the P250, Smoke and a flashbang, and Masuta smoking 2 flashes to his name. So a passive start from Vitality, not allowing the aggression or complexity to come through within these early stages. Now let's note, previously on Mirage, Obo and Rush, we spoke to Obo about it, and he told us when he was still on the roster that Rush and Obo were switching between the bomb sites on this one, still experimenting with who was playing where. And that means that NATO, maybe he'll be in transition the same way that Obo was. We're setting up now for an A piece as all 5 members of Vitality are over this side of the map. Apex will be coming out of the Palace position, everybody else up. Well, never mind. RPK's joined him. So 3 up the ramp, 2 out the halls. Pretty standard split, and away we go.
Alrighty then. Rush with a lot to do as they do Saw and Bloom. Here comes the push. A high flash from Zywoo. He evades it nicely and sees Apex drop. He wants to stay dynamic, stay mobile. Zywoo using that unarmored P250 to great success, and that's opened up the site with the help of the smokes. There is nobody willing to contest just yet.
Shox wants this USP.
Second attempt. Oh.
Look how much space they've been given. They know there's so much coming through CT right now. Eyes can be on CT spawn.
This is hard. So Poison could be prevalent, but the problem is now Shox locks him in. So all attention can be put towards CT, but there is a smoke. The kit was on rush, but the dink came in, and Shox gonna be taking down Poison, but still, the rest of the T players can funnel all that attention towards us. It's not pretty though, Apex and Zywoo, of course.
Guys.
Of course he does.
24 kills.
Rushmate, look, whenever we're in a situation when there's like Zywoo alive, just
Hindsight's 2020,
hedge the bets. Hedge the bets.
Rush, do you want
24 kills
hold up?
in these
Rush has got
rounds.
something nice for you guys, all
Does?
right? Yeah.
Yeah, I did do something for you guys.
He did do
by
something
the
really
way.
nice. Rush, it's all right. You know that this is the
Why
way
are you
we.
spoiling
I
his
should have picked
news?
Zywoo, man.
No, because he told me
Okay.
to bring it up.
Yeah, so I bound U. If I press that button, it will toggle between the player's crosshair and our observer one. So
Can we,
changes,
can we make something known for everybody at home, just quickly, with this crosshair situation? The players at home, if the crosshair looks a little bit weird, they might use a completely different res, keeping in mind we are playing...
It doesn't look
Rush,
like the
I don't
one you
trust you.
had.
I don't
know,
you.
man. It's pulling from the player's data, so apparently this
no
is not
way.
being
He's debated?
Has he been debating me with his beach ball crosshair?
Oh.
I mean, he could
That's
have
so
changed it
thin. I thought
recently.
he was all about the chonky crosshairs.
Same. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
not
RP.
sure.
Let's look through. What does Zywoo look like? real quick?
Zywoo? That's a good question. I bet it's a pixel. Where is he?
You reckon he's a...
Oh, it is.
Oh, wait, he's not in the
Shox.
server. He's,
okay.
he's just dipped out real quick.
That's teeny.
Oh, okay, he'll be back. We'll check in.
That
once-
is a
once he's
teeny
done.
tiny crosshair.
Yeah, there's some really
But that's
tiny
the thing with the
ones.
res, right, guys? Because if they're using a larger res, that crosshair is going to look
640 by
bigger.
480, of course.
We understand.
Yeah.
But there has been a huge shift in this last few years of players moving to native. I know. Look, like the old boys, like the guys that have been doing it for 25 years or whatever, Shox, sure, he can have it, his old weird 640 by 480. But all of the new gen, all of like the, 20-year-olds.
Yeah, Ellie Giggles of the world.
Yeah, the Ellie Giggles of the world. Everyone's moving to native because the truth is, the only reason you'd stay on a res other than, the placebo effect or an excuse would be to get the maximum FPS. Like if you want to lower your res, that would just be in the essence of frames per second. Everything else is native.
People used to discuss the wider model theory, but...
when you use
I want to counter that. I really want to counter that.
Exactly, please do, because I don't really account for it
It's
either.
true. It is theoretically, it's true. You've got wider models on your screen. No one's going to argue with that. But you have to understand that those pixels have been stretched, which means that your mouse will accelerate at an unfamiliar level because on the which axis is that? Horizontal plane.
Why?
Yeah, that one. Because those pixels, all they've done has been stretched across your screen. It means you will have a higher sense on your left and rights than you will your up and downs.
But there's one thing
advisable.
But there's one thing here for everybody playing at home, and this is one thing that you need to understand about every single choice when it comes to your setup, is it is literally personal preference.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So if you want to play 4x3 with stretch to get the wider models as to what we're talking about right now,
480,
you go for it.
3080
You can do it, right? Now, you are actually hamstringing yourself in the sense of, you see less. You definitely see less.
The amount of times we have to say, oh, they've been 4x3. It happens. I mean, as said, though, some of these players, the amount of times you'll see, be right back, changing my res, like...
It does happen.
It's a thing. Like,
there are some players who are very fickle with it, who do change their settings quite often.
I've never seen someone more superstitious than Smooya. I swear that kid's changing his res, his aspect ratio. He's got...
You think he's ever played on the same settings?
He's got a new mouse... I just watched... Like, he got a hookup from a sponsor, and he's just got like 12 new mouse pads, so he can change them out every week.
Havoc, who I used to play with, he used to have multiple mice plugged in. So, like, in the middle of the game, like, if he wasn't playing,
that's a stretch too far.
That's not it.
Yeah,
I'd be furious.
Yeah.
Did it work? Did he sometimes toggle on and be like, boys, it's the Zowie, lads?
Yeah, but it's literally just
It's
a
just your
mind
brain.
game. Yeah,
It's
exactly.
just your brain. If you, and the thing is that it takes a lot to not have to do that. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you'll sit there and blame these external factors rather than taking it
Looks like
internally.
we're back underway.
It looks like the game's back on. I do want to say a quick thank you to all the guys reaching out. I love reading the messages just as we come in. A couple of people saying, been loving watching the shows at my work day, just starting off the day, been having a really good time. I'm not seeing it live on
Okay, good.
here, so
because
we're okay. It's just the cams do look like they're
very
live.
misleading
Yes,
replay cameras there.
I'm with you on that one, but no, on the screen we have. But I do love the fact that people reached out and say, we love starting their work day, listening to to the show.
Like we're a little radio morning show.
Yeah, so again, I love hearing that. I love the fact that I don't feel so alone doing this. Obviously, I've got you two with me, but it's nice to know the
you
audience
are
is
alone,
out
Laura.
there. Shut up, Chad. Shut up. But no, it's nice. I'm glad that it does become part of a routine, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, routine is actually quite addictive when you have some of it. I've found that for the first time in 27 years, I've had a routine to the closest extent since school.
Yeah.
And I've benefited from it, believe it or not.
Yeah.
Waking up at the same-ish time.
Same-ish time, yeah. Well, that's the thing. The ish is key. The same time every day would get a little bit jarring. But
you don't have to be so militant about it. If you can...
You can stay up past midnight.
You can.
Can you rush?
No.
That's a bit late for me, honestly.
Probably bedtime, isn't it, mate?
We are back live, though, so...
Okay, let's check Zywoo's crosshair.
Let's have a look. See what the madman's on.
Zywoo!
Oh, is he a teal boy?
He's a teal boy.
It's a very standard-looking crosshair, isn't it?
Yeah, they're all really boring. I thought we'd have at least the RPK tennis ball. I'm kind of sad we don't. But I'll move on, as we all should. So we're catching a good bit of flak, down to 31 points of health. And do see Apex opting for that connector smoke. I wonder what his lineup may be as we return to a more visible crosshair for everyone playing at home.
Especially on the mobile phone devices.
Yeah, it can get a bit sketchy when watching on a smaller screen.
Well, the early damage to Zywoo and Apex is actually very, very dangerous considering the buy-through from Complexity here. That Scout of Poison, Deadly, Blame F on their MP9 will be able to spam them down with ease, and even the Deagles just tags should be more than enough to finish off the final, well, the tagged up two of Vitality. Masuta, RPK, and Shock still working with all their hit points.
But I wouldn't write them out of the CT side yet. Keita, the coach, obviously breaking it all down for Blame F on the Etch-a-Sketch. They know what to expect here against Vitality. And Apex is the first of many. They find the first corpse. It is only Deagles. That MP9 was the only SMG in play here, and that Scout from Poison is going to struggle if the smokes start getting deployed. Masuta tagged and fragged, and Zywoo's the one to bring out the body bag. Poison's gone. Blame onto Zywoo, though, to keep things in favor of this Complexity. Oh, wow. He's actually tagged him with the Scout as well. RPK and Nato Safix, unfortunately, doesn't convert. Both of them low, and RPK can't believe his luck. He'll collect the first, and not allowed to escape. A headshot from Nato Safix. He's not opted for the wallbang. I'm surprised he's not been peppered. A nice shot. Nato saves the day for Complexity. He's going to enjoy that one and thoroughly make good use of all that time. He grabs himself the AK-47, a Desert Eagle upgrade, and the defuse. Double kill for Nato. Pulling his weight. I
think we will see the force buy back. Vitality with 1,400 coming through, and the bomb plant, the extra 800, stimulating that economy even more. As Masuda goes up to 3.2k. I think that was the same with RPK. So they should be able to buy through some Galils right here. But Blame F picked up the Galil, and from there takes down Zywoo. So a massive round from Blame F after taking down Apex in middle, and then just closing this one out against the already peppered up remaining players of Vitality. Nato Safix closing out a one-on-one, and an important one. As round number 18 gets underway, AK-47 dropped across for Zywoo. RPK could have dropped one as well, and he will. So they've got two AKs, a Galil in the mix, and a Deagle for Masuta. RPK eventually finding his Deag, and away we go. So impact needed from these upgraded rifles. At least 3 kills has to be on the cards. Blame gets out in time, so no pressure from towards top mid. Even re-peaks, that's very brave work.
Yeah, right. Considering he didn't have any contact top mid, he just assumed he'd be able to get it. Oh, hiccups. Gonna say, excuse me.
That was a really surprising happened. I was like, oh.
My body surprised me. Nice shot. Poison. Oh, he's lined him up, racked him up. Get another. There's 2 more in middle, 2 more available to him. And Masuta even tagged up to 14. One more bullet will do it. Give it to him. Poison needs the ace. It's Zywoo's head left. He's not getting kill hungry. He's letting that push come in from Config, but a great round all the same. Poison with 3 kills in the round. Config taking 2 of them. And that breaks Vitality. This makes the comeback all the more realistic. I'll remind you, this is Complexity's pick, and they've weathered the storm of the T side, which when with a mercenary, one would assume would be the harder of the 2. Or do you disagree, Chad?
No, you're right, in the sense that he needs to learn the intricacies of the strategies more so and remember a lot more of what smokes, what flashes, and everything that he needs to hold and throw. Whereas on the CT side, it's like, hey, you're playing here and this is your buddy.
This.
Yeah, and you get to work with them a little bit more. Now, the CT side of rotations, and if there's gamble stacks or certain set plays, yeah, it can get difficult, but the T side is more problematic, and that's why an easier to play map or a figured out map like Mirage is quite good, but Config wants to pick up where he left off in the last round, just a slaughter over towards middle. And that was a quick one for Complexity as the scoreline now sitting at 12-7 in favor of the Frenchman. Vitality still have this lead, but it's quickly dwindling right now. And look at Zywoo, 26 kills to his name. How many more can the man get in map number 1? Looks like he's well and truly on course for that of 30. On the other side of things, I think Poison has been the main impact man. Think about his AWP rounds that we've seen so far. And then you can just remember that AK round against the Force Spy in the previous. So impact from Poison here, as we did talk about the trio of Blame F, Config, and Poison needing to do a little bit more now that Obo is not in the roster.
Here they come, a triple swing. Not going to be so easy this time with AKs equipped. And what the bloody hell? He used the flash. That is ballsy. Blame posting up with the Yorg and is quickly ripped out of the server. So an early advantage for Vitality in pursuit of their 13th.
Suda needs to be careful here. Nades could be dunked on down through this connector position onto him. So he's actually opting to go on the high ground. Flash up towards short. That'll allow him to take a little bit more control. But speaking of control, Complexity are postured forward, looking like they might want some of their own. Off angle from Config being held. And now they go back to take a mid fight.
Nato, Safix, and Config are both looking for info off the boost. I hate it.
Big problems.
Yep, they hate it too. They're going to have to reposition, and it is going to be the first for Config cleanly. Can't make it up onto RPK. This is a good chance. And he does find the first, holding down mouse one. The spray, it's wild. He's down to 10. And he's not going to find anything else. Good damage, though. It does soften him up for Poison's clutch, but he's still on the A site as the digits get punched in. He's got everything. Truly has not done anything this round. He's got full util, 30 bullets in the clip. He's doing a fake smoke to suggest he's saving.
You may as well go for this. The money situation is not terrible for Complexity, and if the calls came through that there are a couple of softened up players on the Vitality side of things, he may as well give this one a fair crack. That smoke being thrown has actually lured out Apex. Bomb halfway ticked. If Apex keeps pushing and gets this kill, he could accelerate and go for it, but now time is the issue. And I think Poison will just be looking to do damage. And that's exactly what we'll see. So Apex falls. 2 survive for Vitality, Shox and Zywoo.
You're going to get 2,900, right?
Yes. With the bomb going off here. So,
it's
oh, sorry. For Complexity, it was the 1,400 loss bonus.
No, I was
right?
talking about the T's, yeah.
Oh, they get the 3,500.
35 with the
yeah.
Sorry, yeah. It's not, I was looking at loss bonus. Okay. They got plenty of cash.
Yeah, Nato a little bit unlucky not to get more here. You can see him holding down the trigger, hoping that somebody ran on into that wild spray, but the box soaking up a few too many bullets, and once he fell, the B bomb site was open for business. Now back underway. Vitality 3 rounds away from taking mount number 1. Back 10 out in the hands of Shox. Config mounting up and over towards middle, sees nobody's home. Apex is selling a fake here. It's going to be a B finish.
I like the commitment to it too. Whether or not it works out is yet to be seen. Losing his partner in crime, RPK, and he has won the first fight. This is good. It's garnered the attention of 2 now, but it is kind of split between the sides because they did find that pick on Shox towards B, so they know this wasn't all an A hit, and now with no more sound, they did relinquish some control, and look at Apex dragging it back.
A lot of room for Apex to take within the early stages here. Config's position given up.
Oh, Zywoo. Always a threat. Config has to back away from this now. Should do and does. And now down to the 2v2. But look at where they are. B is now vulnerable and they know this.
Oh.
Hello, Safix. Bloody hell, Zywoo. Hello, Safix posted at the back by CT Spawn. You've got obviously Poison there as well. Both on the AWP. Now, they're going to have moments because the utility just simply isn't there for the T side. But they miss. Suddenly this gets problematic and you have Zywoo against you, who's going to be right in your head with those plays you'd want to achieve with the AWP, and Nato Safix just gets backhanded down. Bomb plant to be had, and Poison and Nato Safix trying to work back in both on AWPs.
Pushing. Great timing. He confirms they're both coming, and that's Masuta confirming the round. Grabbed himself one of the 2 AWPs. We were throwing that over and swapping and changing with Mr. Zywoo. But that's 14, and this is where you start getting concerned for Complexity, because 2,400 on the low end, 22 even for NATO Safix. It's not comfortable. This was the first from Masuta and the second to wrap up the round as well.
Yeah, good swing. They were playing off each other very well, Masuta and Zywoo there once the bomb had gone down on that site. The double AWPs, it was difficult to retake no matter what, but still have to play those rounds correctly, and that's exactly what they did. So last-ditch attempt here for Complexity. They get 2,400 as the loss bonus going into next round. If they can't convert or save anything here, well, we may as well pack this one up. taking a little look at ZywOo on his own, getting very aggressive with the AWP. Now he's going on back, and the aggression from the CT side has at least netted them. Mid-control, Config was overseeing. We've got Blame tucked in with Poison, ready and raring to go if mid-control comes on through. And, well, here he comes, ZywOo with Apex. Can they win out these early duels?
Yes, so far so good. Config did trade one. The shot from Poison does go astray, just whistles past, lodged into the wall. And now 4 still stand for the T's. Mid-control gained, and we're looking towards... I want to look at Shox for a second, because this obviously will encourage him to start working forward. Gonna hear Rush all day long, but there's a time limit, because look at old Poison coming around. I think he spotted it too, yes. So information once again relayed perfectly well.
Good damage done onto Rush, and that's known as, look at this, Complexity coming over to plug this hole. But there's even more holes being put in them. ZywOo takes down Config. Rush goes down. Poison scope's been heard.
Good.
See you later, mate. And that's all she wrote. Just the deagle on NATO. I don't think we're going to be seeing anything come out of him in this round. He did win the clutch in the earlier stages of this half.
Does he still do YouTube?
I don't know, maybe. It takes a lot of effort to do that kind of stuff.
Oh, gosh, yeah. No, I don't envy those that find their living that way, though it is obviously very cool and creative and you can do everything. It's just the idea of like, the algorithm dictates you must do a weekly upload of over 10 minutes and it must be this and this and this. You know, like there's so many barriers to entry that I really have mad respect for people that have that consistency in them. Sometimes I want to take a holiday. I've seen what it does to streamers. You know, when a streamer feels like, oh, if I go on holiday, I'll lose half my income.
Yeah.
It's not good for you, is it?
It's definitely not.
At least you can make a lot of content about all these games.
That's true. Yeah, get yourself some Counter-Strike highlights going on.
Yeah.
Seems to be a need for that all the time, as Config's going to pick up an AK, but this is just a matter of time written all over it here. Masuda's taken some damage. He actually goes down. It is a good trade, and Config's with another. So it's starting to get more interesting, but it is ZywOo alongside RPK to close out what was a 2-on-4, now a 2-on-3. Rush stands, NATO, and Blame F. And I said stands. Now Blame F sits, because ZywOo's having his way with everybody in the server here today. 31 kills for the man.
I don't think I've truly got to experience a big ZywOo game where he just, it looks so
like
smooth.
Simple.
It's really lovely to watch.
Just effortless.
Yeah, that is the best way to describe it.
Yeah, a lot of players I think that I've spoken to or I've watched it, you know, in reacting to ZywOo FPL plays, a lot of them just seem to find, no one makes the game look so easy. You know, this is actually quite a complex game to have the mechanical ability that you're considering so many things at all times. But ZywOo's got them so down pat that it's subconscious, a lot of it.
The intuition that the players like the Simples and the ZywOos of the world have is unparalleled. Nobody is able to approach the game in the same way that these guys are, and they make situations that most players would look foolish in and go, well, that's a mistake. They make the mistakes look like the most deliberate decision, and it makes them look like an absolute genius. And then you add that with the mechanical ability. Let's see if they can win this 2-on-2.
Time's running low. How do you get past
hello,
Rush?
You've been seen. Saw him sandwich. He did see the barrel of the gun there as he came around the corner.
Okay, 10 seconds now. Contact to be made in 2.
Yes, they didn't.
Didn't see him at all. No time now. Well handled by Rush.
I swear that he was looking... I thought that Rush was looking out into the open there. Rush?
Oh, the Rush?
Are you talking to me or
yeah,
the player?
Was Rush looking into the open as they came through apartments?
It kind of looked like it, yeah.
Bloody X-ray.
Yeah, the X-ray can be deceiving, that's for sure.
It did feel like it. Maybe we get a... Well, I guess we won't get the replay from their perspective, will we? But all in all, Complexity stay alive. And that was down to Rush here with a lovely UMP double kill. Close range on the second one. Perfect weapon for the job. Upgrades to the AK-47 and back underway we go. Galil out for Masuta or for ZywOo. Utility is a little bit of a problem, but Complexity, they're going to have to hold on to 7 more rounds to take us to overtime here. Very unlikely scenes as Vitality now is postured across the map. Bit of a default spread within the early stages, and with this limited utility, they don't have too many options. There's a chance, and Shox, he will deliver. Started the game 7-0, has cooled off a little bit, but ZywOo's taken that space, and, well, he's run with it. 120 ADR for the Prodigy himself. 3 players over towards A for Complexity here. Can they find another pick, Vitality, or will things be evened up?
There's the smokes and the flashes, so if anything confirms suspicions, but Rush is going to fall no matter which way you cut this. Now, Poison has been good at saving some of these.
Could very well do it here, but doesn't adjust into Masuta, and so it's just a confirmation of what we already knew. Vitality will be taking Complexity's map pick here. NATO Savix, the hired gun, can't get it done. 16-8. Vitality take the first map of the series here in day 3 of IEM New York.